If you're a new service provider or a freelancer, there will come a moment on your journey where there will be a prospect who will come up to you and ask to do a service that you have never done before. What do you do then? Do you say yes? Do you say no? What if I told you that you can say yes to them with or without doing this yourself? Welcome to Believing the Unbelievable podcast, and today I wanted to share two of my stories to help you understand that either of those scenarios are possible. Let's start with the first one. What if we had to figure it out on my own? So, there was this point in my life when I was just going to this particular event where all of these different influencers were there, and I was really, really blessed to be in that room. So I started having a conversation with everyone, and there's this particular influencer who asked me if I was able to execute on this particular CRM software called HubSpot. And I had never heard about this software ever before, right? Before that, I was working in ClickFunnels, I was in Go High Level, I was really, really thorough. By now, I'm really, really thorough in Go High Level. But then I have also used Kajabi and several other platforms similar. But then I had never used HubSpot before. But what I said to them was, I was really upfront about it, and I told them that I do not know how to use HubSpot. However, I what I know is that most of these CRMs are more or less the same thing, right? You see how ClickFunnels is functional for funnel building. Go High Level also does the same thing. Kajabi also does the same thing, right? So all of these funnel builder softwares are more or less the same thing, but with different brand names. So that's how I inferred that HubSpot will also be more or less the same, which wasn't the case. However, but HubSpot was still figure outable because it was really close to my domain, right? So I did not say no to that opportunity. I just said that I was very upfront, and I said I will be able to figure it out because I have all these years of experience in several other CRMs. So we said yes to that particular deal, and we started working together, and even till the date we are working. But what happened was I was able to close the second biggest deal of my life just because I knew that I can crack that particular domain, and I was able to crack it just because I had all the experience. So I did not say no to that offer just because I knew in my abilities that I can serve that domain, which was very similar to what I had already done. Now let's come to the second story. The second story goes like this. At the time of content creation, when I was creating content, I was only creating graphical content, right? I had never created video content for anyone. And then there's this client who asked us to create video content for the first time. And that's when I opened up my new office in my place, and we started having team members come in. And at that time, we got a video editor who was editing my videos personally, and he was really, really good at his job. And what I got was I started saying yes to the video editing deals as well. And by now I knew that even if I had never done this before, what I can do is I can figure it out. So what I did was I was just framing the content part, and I would give the content scripts to the clients that who would record the videos and then send it over to us so that we can go ahead and do the editing, and Ayush, who was our video editor at the time, can go ahead and create the videos, right? And he did a really good job. So how did I not say no to that particular opportunity? You see, at that time, the market shifted from graphical content to video content, right? The reels were a new thing at the time. So saying no to that opportunity would mean saying no to a new trend that was just starting out. You see, remember my NFT story? That was my first breakthrough when I got to work with the biggest NFT network. Similarly, Reels, on the other hand, was becoming the next trend. So that's why I did not say no to that particular opportunity, but I figured out a way to fulfill it, right? So after some time, what I also figured out was that I did not even need to have a team member who I would pay fixed salary. I can simply outsource the work to somebody, and then or to somebody who can actually deliver the work. They have the experience, and then what I can simply do is I can take the job inside of my company, just because I can do, like, I have already done it before. I can manage all the projects in between, but at the same time I can outsource the particular task to different people, different individuals. But then I can drop service all of them at the same time without us having to do anything in house. Okay, so that allowed us to really scale the company to such an extent where we do not have to do much of the work, and we are able to leverage other people's time. So in this way, we can go ahead and execute and serve anyone in any particular niche by either figuring it out on our own, by having by figuring it out on our end, right? If we think that it is more or less on the same domain, or we can really outsource it to somebody else, or we can just get team members to come in and start working with them. You see, our company is not even that much big for us to go ahead and start bringing in-house team, but all the projects are smoothly getting managed with the outsource services that we are having with our trusted vendors, right? So this is an opportunity that really can that we can really learn from. But at the same time, I have learned over all of these years by making all of the different mistakes that I have made, and I'm going to be sharing each one of them over the coming episodes of the Believing the Unbelievable podcast. But here's what I'm going to do today. If I were in your shoes, and there was a person who came up to me and asked me about doing something that I have never done before, first thing I'm gonna see is that if it's something that is in my domain. If it's something that is very near to my domain, that I'm going to say yes to that opportunity, and then I'm going to be very upfront to them about it and say, hey, I have never done this before, but I have all of this proof that I have done a similar kind of work in different other platforms, or I have done different kind of services which are much similar to this, so I can do this on my own. But I'm not going to charge a lot of money for this. I'm just going to charge a small fee. Now again, why we are going to do that is that we do not want to make a lot of money from this particular client. What we want to do is we want to prove that we can actually deliver on this, and then later on when we get the next client, we'll be very confident in charging a little higher, right? So that's what we are going to do if it's really close to our domain. If it's not close to our domain, either we are going to say no to that opportunity and just be like, hey, we cannot do that. Because for example, if I'm in sales and we get a marketing deal, I'm just going to say no if I do not know anybody else, right? However, second way is the drop servicing. If we do not know if it's really out of our domain, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop service it. If I have the time to manage that particular project, I'm just going to drop service the deal by taking the deal and then outsourcing it to somebody else, to some other vendor, right? If I have the time to manage it. If I do not have the time to manage it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just refer the client to that particular that particular vendor. If that particular vendor is our friend and so on, like very close to us, then we are not going to take any affiliate commissions from them. Like that's not what I do personally. But if there's somebody who you know professionally, then you can definitely charge them a commission and go from there. But yeah, so this is what I would do if I were in your shoes today, and this is what I do as well, particularly right now if I get some deals where I have no idea about how I can do it. Okay, so I hope this entire video was helpful to you. Go ahead and drop in the comments what was your biggest takeaway, and always remember, the impossible is possible when you keep believing the unbelievable.